The American Sports Network is proud to present the Minor League Baseball All-Star Showcase from the Midwest League. We bring you greetings tonight from a gorgeous night in Peoria, Illinois. The weather could not be better after a storm passed through last night. The skies have cleared, the sun is shining, and the temperatures are very moderate. We welcome you to Dozer Park in Peoria for the East versus the West. Hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with former big leaguer Brian McRae. And Brian, we were just commiserating here. 25 years ago, you played in one of these, a minor league all-star game. What's it like from a player's perspective?
Well, did you have to go back and say 25 years? The Southern League in 1990, and just to be included in this is a great honor. Whatever league you're in, these players can look back at this and say, I did make an all-star team. It may not be in the big leagues, but in the minor leagues, you're still regarded as one of the best in your field.
Can't wait to watch this kid from South Bend, Gleyber Torres. He is really moving up quickly in the Cubs organization.
Still a teenager. This guy came through the system, jumped 2 levels, and is not just holding his own. He's excelling here in the Midwest League, and this is a tough league.
And then Jacob Nottingham from Quad Cities. This guy's a real athlete.
He's probably the most athletic catcher in the minor league system. Turned down football scholarship. He probably could do it all. You watch him swing the bat tonight, 330, 18 doubles, 10 home runs, leading in slugging percentage, top 10 in hitting. This kid is on the rise. One
of the fun things about any all-star game, especially in the minor leagues, is which one of these guys is going to make it to the big leagues first. We're showcasing some young talent from Peoria. We'll be back with the starting lineup in a moment. Near sellout crowd on hand here at Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois for the East versus the West All-Star game from the Midwest League. So let's check out the East All-Stars and the starting lineup. Leading off will be their center fielder, Anthony Alford. He is followed by the guy we talked about in the open, Gleyber Torres, the shortstop. Then Michael Gerber by way of Creighton University. Ryan McBroom, he's the DH tonight, and he also won the Home Run Derby. Rowdy Tellez is at first base. Jace Conrad at second. Charcer Burks, he'll be batting 7th, followed by the catcher, Cale Brockmeyer, and then the third baseman, Zach Shepard. On the mound for the West is Luis Perdomo. Ashley Bullington got a chance to catch up with a manager. We'll tell you about that in a second. But first, the defense will be Caleb Adams in left. It's Colin Bray in center field. As Darlin Morales in right. Then Nick Tanielu, he is the third baseman. Oscar Mercado is at shortstop. Andrew Daniel is the second baseman. And Marty Harum is at first. Jacob Nottingham is behind the plate. As I mentioned, Ashley Bullington is our third reporter, and she got a chance to catch up with manager Joe Cruzel.
Can you talk to us about Luis Perdomo and what pitches he throws and what's his go-to and how does he get out of tough situations?
Well, I think Luis tonight, I think you'll see a lot more fastballs from the pitchers just so they can get through their inning. But normally he's a fastball, slider, changeup type of pitcher. And when he gets in trouble, he likes to go mostly to his fastball, but he will use his slider at times, especially against right-handed hitters.
And can you talk about the atmosphere of an all-star game? I mean, most of these guys, it's their first. How special is it for them to be here in this?
Well, I think right now the atmosphere that the Peoria and Rocky and his front office staff have created has been a very nice atmosphere so far. Home Run Derby went great. There's a lot of people here. We've got a beautiful night for a ball game, and I think it should be an exciting time for the community of Peoria.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashley, and also to the skipper, Joe Cruzel. And we look at Luis Perdomo and his 11 starts this year. Not a great record, but a good ERA.
Good ERA, and the thing about an all-star game is pitchers aren't expected to go deep into the ball game. So you can air it out for your inning or 2 innings, throw a lot of fastballs, show it off a little bit, and don't hold anything back.
As a hitter, you're not getting to see a pitcher very long. You see him 1 inning and he's gone.
Right, and you may be only in there for 1 inning also. So you're looking fastball and you're ready to swing.
Well, Anthony Alford is leading off for the East. He is by way of the Lansing Lugnuts, who are in first place in the East, and they are in the Toronto organization. Alford really good on base percentage, .418, and when he gets on, he is a threat to steal, 19 stolen bases. Two-sport star Alford He was Mr. Football for 2 years running in high school in Mississippi, and then won Mr. Baseball as a senior. How's that for a great athlete? There's a fastball in there for a strike at 93 miles per hour.
I think what you're seeing with some of those two-sport guys is their first love is baseball. And they go around and on all these recruiting trips and see how tough football is. They pick the safer sport and play baseball.
Yeah, he did play football in college, quarterbacked at Southern Mississippi, and then was a defensive back at Ole Miss, and then said, enough of that, I'm sticking with baseball. And he draws a walk. So Alford gets aboard, and as I mentioned, a threat to steal 19 stolen bases. Well, we've got 6 umpires for this game. Normally in A-ball you work with 2, but they brought 6 of them here. Brandon Butler is calling the balls and strikes. Brock Ballou is at first. Richard Genera is at second. Tyler Olson at third. And then down the right field line, it's Matt Snodgrass, and down the left field line is Zach Teesh. And a good breaking ball for strike 1 to Torres. Well, as we mentioned, Torres moving up fast, just a teenager. This Venezuelan, a free agent, signed in 2013, and he is in a top 10 in the Cubs system right now. There goes Alford, and a swing and a foul straight back to the screen. Boy, he got a good jump. Torres plays for the South Bend Cubs, hitting .310 on the year. Just stays alive with that swing.
I don't think people really understand what it's like to be a teenager in an advanced A-ball league. You know, this is one of the better A-ball leagues out there, and he's the second youngest player in this league.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Good breaking ball from Perdomo. Well, you look at the field here, Dozer Park in Peoria, and it's only .310 down that left field line, but it gets out pretty quickly, and 400 to straightaway center. Same thing in right, .310 down the line, but then that wall juts out pretty quickly. Boy, beautiful park here, and a great view of downtown Peoria. Michael Gerber is the batter, and he goes after the first pitch and pops it up on the left side. Tanielu circles under that one, and going back to first, Alford. He was off with the pitch.
Designated hitter number 14.
Alford hadn't wasted any time going first pitch both times. Hitters are second pitch for the first time with Torres up, and the first pitch there. The hitters aren't allowing him to steal a bag, though.
But now Ryan McBroom, I don't know if he's worn out from the home run derby. He won it. He also plays for the Lansing Lugnuts. He's tied for the league lead in doubles with 23 of those. Another good breaking ball in there from Perdomo, and it's strike 1 to McBroom. McBroom played his college ball at West Virginia. He was drafted in the 15th round last year. Fastball upstairs. It was kind of cool, Brian, to see the home run derby. They did something very different, very unusual. They moved home plate out to straightaway center field and had the hitters hit back towards the stands.
So it allowed the fans to be more involved in it, and it was just a kind of an odd setup, but it worked out pretty well.
Alford, good jump again. Great throw, and Alford just beats the tag. Boy, Nottingham put it right on the button, but good speed by Alford, and that's a stolen base.
But you can see why Nottingham is one of the best regarded catchers in the minor league system. That was a good jump by Alford. His breaking ball, and Nottingham put that ball right on the bag. Nottingham has thrown out, or he threw out last year, over 40% of the base stealers. That's a very impressive number.
He'd have gotten almost anybody, and now McBroom makes it pay off with a base hit. So a 2-out stolen base by Alford, a 2-out single by McBroom, and the East is on the board. You know, one thing when you look at the lineups between the East and the West, the East has more speed, the West has more power.
And that's a slider that just hung out over the plate. McBroom staying back on it and drives that ball in the left field to easily score Alford.
So a lead walk, a stolen base, and a 2-out single, and East is on top 1-0. Now Rowdy Tellez also playing for the Lansing Lugnuts. It's kind of like watching the Royals in the upcoming All-Star game.
A month from now, it'll be like this.
Yeah, they got 7 guys right now, the Royals, in the starting lineup. The East lineup here featuring 3 Lugnuts.
Lansing is 42 and 28. Great Lakes is in second place at 38 and 30.
Well, they've had a great first half, led by these 3 guys in the lineup. Tellez is ranked in the top 25 as far as prospects with the Blue Jays. The breaking ball seems to be working better for Perdomo than the fastball.
Might have been a little overamped coming into the ball game, knowing he's only going to throw 1 inning. Couldn't control his fastball as well as the breaking ball. Seems like he's gone to the breaking ball more and been more consistent with that.
And this one popped up. Playable in left center field. The center fielder Bray comes over, and that will do it. But the East takes advantage of the speed of Alford, and they're able to get on the board. 1-0 in favor of the East. You're watching Sunday Night Showcase on ASN. Now these Chiefs fans on hand here in Peoria excited about the All-Stars coming to their town. And this guy likes to dance. Well, let's check out the West All-Star lineup. Caleb Adams will lead things off, followed by Marty Harum, then Jacob Nottingham. Sandbar Pimental is the designated hitter. He is followed by Nick Tanielu, then Andrew Daniel, Estarlin Morales, Oscar Mercado, and Colin Bray. The defense for the East, Gerber is in left field. Anthony Alford is the center fielder. Charcer Burks is in right field. Shepard at third, Torres the shortstop, Conrad and Tellez on the right side, and Brockmeyer is behind the plate. On the mound for the East, Jeremy Knoll. The manager of the East is Sean Larkin, and he talks about his starting pitcher.
Yeah, so Jeremy Knoll's great. He's been a great starter for the Cubs this year. You know, he mixes his pitches really well, pounds his zone with strikes, sinker, slider, and at this level, it's really effective. So he's tough to game plan against. He's got some of the best numbers in the league, and that's why he's starting the game tonight for us.
All right, we'll see what he can do against this West All-Star lineup, and look at his numbers on the year, and look at how many walks. In 65 innings, only 4 walks.
And that right there is key, because as a pitcher, when you're walking guys, it gets you in trouble early. You don't walk anybody. The defense stays in tune to the game. They make plays. That ERA and the walks, they match up.
You know, you like your strikeouts to walks to be 2-to-1. 3-to-1 is really good. I don't think I've ever seen 12-to-1.
No, that's remarkable. And this is a kid out of Western Carolina University, and for Royals fans, they have a good closer there in Greg Holland from Western Carolina University.
Yeah, they do. Caleb Adams leading things off. He plays for the Burlington Bees. The Bees are in the Angels chain, and he is in the top 30 in the Angels organization. 10th round pick last year out of Louisiana Lafayette. Caleb is rated as the fastest guy in the Angels organization. Yeah, hard to steal first when you strike out, so Caleb Adams is out number 1.
Gets ahead and then finishes him off. It looks like a split or some type of breaking ball there down in the dirt. That's the key too. When you're not walking guys, the hitters have to go up there and they have to be really aggressive, look to swing early, and then you can throw some pitches out of the zone once you get ahead.
Now here's Marty Harum. He's taken the place of Trey Vavra. Vavra late scratch in the game. He is on the DL and is not able to go. Vavra would have started, hitting .343, but Harum, no slouch, hitting .315 with 5 homers and 39 runs batted in. Marty is second in the West with 80 hits in the first half of the year. Plays for Kane County, the Cougars. They're in third place right now in the West in the Diamondbacks chain. Well, you can see right now that Knoll really has these hitters off balance.
And what I like is there's no wasted time. He gets the ball, he gets the signal, and he throws.
Yeah, he's not giving me any time, though, to set up the hitter. I got a lot to say about
He's
these
setting
guys.
up the hitter.
Yeah, he is. Joe Cruzel, the manager of the West All-Stars and also the manager here in Peoria. He was talking about Rocky doing a great job with his staff with Ashley earlier. And Rocky, of course, is the president, Rocky Vanaken. We'll visit with him coming up a little bit later on. There's strikeout number 2 for Knoll.
Catcher, number 15, Jacob.
Again, Jeremy gets ahead and is able to finish off a hitter with a ball out of the zone. Makes it look pretty simple. You throw strikes, you expand the zone when you get 2 strikes.
So it leaves it up to Jacob Nottingham. Jacob plays for the River Bandits of Quad Cities. Quad Cities in first place in the Western Division. They're in the Astros chain, and boy, everything's going good for the Astros right now. And there's a base hit for Nottingham. And Sean Larkin, who is the manager of the East. Right now, his team leading 1-0. Sandbar Pimental, now the batter. He plays for the Beloit Snappers. I love the names in the minor leagues. Beloit, they're part of the A's organization. From the Dominican Republic, signed as an international free agent in 2010. Boy, big cut there, no contact. And Pimental is listed as the number 30 prospect in the A's organization. Well, this kid just throws strikes, doesn't he?
Jeremy Knoll has thrown 14 pitches, 10 strikes.
Wow. So he's got Pimental set up again. Let's see if he chases something out of the strike zone. Nottingham was off with the pitch. I guess there you're assuming, look, Knoll's going to throw strikes. He's going to be around the plate, so let's just go ahead and send the runner.
And Nottingham is not your typical catcher that can't run.
Right. As we mentioned, he had a scholarship offer from the University of Arizona as a tight end, a baseball offer from the University of Oklahoma, and down goes Pimental. He's caught looking, and Knoll strikes out the side. Wow. 1, 2, 3 for the West All-Stars with a single mixed in by Nottingham. But you look at the 3 strikeouts, Adams first, then Harem, and then Pimental caught looking. We go to the second, 1-0 in favor of the East. This dad's got it all covered. I mean, not only did he bring all the kids with him right after work, but notice he has not 1 but 2 pairs of sunglasses. Wearing one and the other one up on the bill of his cap. He's prepared for everything. Well, Austin Gomber comes out of the pen. He's familiar with this mound. He pitches for the Peoria Chiefs, and he is very high in the St. Louis organization, acquired in the 4th round just last year by way of Florida Atlantic University. 1 pitch to Jace Conrad and 1 out. Tell us more about Gomber.
Good fastball, still working on changeup, curveball type pitcher. He was converted to a starter his last year at Florida Atlantic. Numbers weren't that good, but he came out of the bullpen his first few years there, so he's still trying to build up arm strength. Looks like they're going to try him as a starter and then see where it goes from there.
Fastball a little bit high and outside to Charcer Burks, who plays for the South Bend Cubs. Brian, to the rivalries in the big leagues, like the Cards-Cubs rivalry, does it transcend to the minor leagues too?
Not as much. I think it's more minor leagues in who's the closest to you. and who do you play the most. But I think most of the guys in the minor leagues, you're not worried about the other organization per se. You're just trying to beat another team and get yourself up to the big leagues.
Right. A little more selfish endeavor. It has to be. I mean, you've got to look out for yourself.
And not only the organization that you're with, there are other organizations that may be watching you.
Yeah. There's always someone watching you, isn't there? Always. And down in the dirt, there's a walk to Burks, and this is a guy who has stolen 15 bases. Well, the East took advantage of a walk in the first inning, got a stolen base from Alford and a 2-out single by McBroom to score the run. Now Cale Brockmeyer. We mentioned that Burks with the Cubs. So too is Brockmeyer. He's the catcher for South Bend. Down low to Brockmeyer. You notice that he is from San Diego, and those of you in the American Sports Network affiliates watching on Cox Sports Television in San Diego. But Brockmeyer actually grew up in New Hampshire, even though he is from San Diego, and played hockey as a young man, too. So he's a hockey player. How many hockey players do you know that were born in San Diego? Very few.
None.
Yeah. It's hard to get ice in San Diego. Brockmeyer went to Cal State Bakersfield, so he's been all over the map. And he is the only player in Cal State Bakersfield history who played in the Cape Cod League.
It's a hard league to get to.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good players that play summer ball that try to get there, and very exclusive league.
Fouled straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer acquired by the Cubs in the 2013 draft in the 16th round. Swing and a miss. Boy, good breaking stuff from Gomber, and down goes Brockmeyer.
Third baseman, number 18, Zach Shepard.
Comer tied him up with the breaking ball, a sweeping one in on the right-hander's hands.
All smiles for Gomber right now. 2 out, and Burke still perched over at first base. Now Zach Shepard, the batter. Shepard plays for the Whitecaps of West Michigan. That's the Tigers affiliate there. Shepard has come a long way to play baseball. He is from Sydney, Australia, mate. Normally a shortstop, playing third base tonight. Just 19 years of age, and he has moved up into the top 11 as far as the Tigers prospects are concerned. And a swing and a miss, and down he goes. So Gomber with 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the East All-Stars are gone in the second. To the bottom of the second we go. Still 1-0. Welcome back to Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois. As I mentioned before, Ashley Bullington has joined us here in Peoria. Hi, Ashley.
Dating back to 1983, 166 former Peoria Chiefs have made it to the Major League. They've seen several of the greats here in Peoria, Illinois, like Mark Grace, Joe Girardi, and Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. There's also been several managers that have taken their baseball knowledge to the MLB. Former Rockies manager Jim Tracy, Cubs skipper Joe Maton, and Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg, who now manages for the Phillies. And since 2002, the Chiefs have been affiliated between the Cardinals and the Cubs, seeing all-stars rise through the ranks of their systems. Albert Pujols, Jeff Samardzija, and Yadier Molina are just a few of the 22 current MLB players that can say they once put on a Peoria Chiefs uniform and called Dozier Park their home field. Dave, Brian, back to you.
All right. Brian, I bet you either know or played with or were managed by a lot of those guys.
A lot of those names with the Cubs. My 3 years there, I played with Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace, faced Greg Maddux, played with Wally Joyner. I've seen some good players come through this town.
Well, we have a new pitcher. Justice Sheffield has come out of the bullpen. Each pitcher basically working 1 inning. The batter is Nick Tanielu, and Tanielu plays for the River Bandits. And they're in first place. That's Quad Cities, and that's Houston.
That's one of my favorite stadiums in this league. It's right along the water there in the Quad Cities. And I like that name.
I do too. The River Bandits or the Quad Cities?
Both.
Well, Tanielu didn't give us any more time to talk about him as he goes down on strikes, and now all 4 outs recorded by the East are all by way of the strikeout. So that'll get Andrew Daniel to the plate, and he plays for the Burlington Bees. Burlington and the Angels chain, and Daniel with a solid base hit. Second hit of the game for the West.
Right fielder number 27 is Starlin Morales.
Is Starlin Morales now the batter? The Lumber Kings of Clinton are the team he represents, and that's in the Mariners organization. Morales out of the Dominican Republic. Signee in 2010 by Seattle. Man, the weather here tonight could not be better. Last night, really warm and humid, and then thunderstorms, even tornadoes in the area. It's all given way to a beautiful evening here tonight. 2 strikes on Morales. What a great setting for this park here in Peoria. Quick toss over to first to keep Daniel close. Down in the dirt. Fouled out of play. Sheffield, by the way, is a first-round pick from last year's draft. So he is a guy with some great promise for Lake County captains. That's in the Indians organization down in the dirt.
And what you're going to see in this All-Star game is a mix of high school players in their second or third year in the minor leagues, college players that may be in their first full season, and then minor league free agents that have played for a while but might have been in the Dominican summer leagues until they started to play full season ball.
Sheffield, by the way, was the Gatorade High School Player of the Year. He had an 11-0 record with Tullahoma High School in Tennessee with a .34 earned run average. He was going to Vanderbilt, and then all of a sudden, whoa, hang on, first-round pick, and he decided to sign and come to the minor leagues.
The thing that was unusual about him being drafted in the first round is his size. The left-handed pitchers, most organizations go after the taller pitchers, and he's listed at 5'10". That's unusual for a guy that size to get drafted that high.
Well, single by Daniel puts him at second after the walk to Morales, and now Oscar Mercado is the batter. A little tapper out to short. Torres has got a quick flip to Conrad for one. The relay not in time. And moving to third on the play, Daniel.
And going back and talking about the size, I look at, can a guy get somebody out? And stuff-wise. But a lot of evaluators look for that size. It's a nice play there by Torres to get one. Really no chance to get the double play.
So runners now at the corners for Colin Bray. Bray plays for the Cougars of Kane County. And there goes Mercado, no throw, and he'll steal second easily. Strike called to Bray.
It's about as good as a jump you can get. A lot of times with a lefty, you don't have a good read on his move. You'll just go on the first move. And what that means is as soon as he picks his leg up, you're taking off. And that looked like what Mercado did.
Bray coming off an injury from last year. Did he offer? They say no. He checked in time, and it's 1-1. Well, Bray is a guy that was picked up in the 6th round of 2013. He comes from a baseball family. For you astute baseball fans, you'll remember his dad, Scott, who pitched a couple of years with the Montreal Expos. Good strike on the inside edge. 1-2 now, the count to Colin Bray. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Big strike out there for Sheffield. He strikes out 2 in the inning and strands runners at the corners. To the third we go. Still 1-0 in favor of the East. Well, Chamber of Commerce weather here in Peoria tonight as we bring you the Midwest League All-Star Game, and Felix Jorge now comes in out of the bullpen, the third pitcher used by the West.
Jorge, fastball, slider, change, and has really developed that changeup. That's a pitch that is going to be big for him.
Back to the top of the order for the East. Anthony Alford will lead things off, and he bloops one out into shallow right field, and a good catch by Daniel. Well, joining us now is Richard Nussbaum, who is the president here of the Midwest League. Good to see you again, my friend.
Dave, thank you.
Everything good? Look at this weather, this venue, this everything. It's just perfect.
That's how it is every game here.
Yeah, right. Well, we had some storms come through the area here last night, but man, tonight couldn't be better.
Yeah.
And just this scene, the home run derby, the fans coming out early, the dueling pianos, the atmosphere. This is terrific.
It really is. Peoria's done a great job of putting this on. It's a really nice community, and we're really happy to be here.
Yeah, tell us more about the Midwest League and how
Sure.
things are going. You guys have expanded now to 16 teams.
We have, and we're doing really well this year. Even though there's been some weather issues, we're almost at 2 million in attendance.
Wow.
So we're going to fly past that 4 million mark this year, which will represent almost, or actually a little more than 10% of the entire fan base for minor league baseball across the country. So there's a lot of good things going on in Midwest League.
Comebacker to the mound. This will be the second out here. You know, minor league baseball, it's just we've had the joy of doing our showcase all year, starting in El Paso and now here in Peoria. It's just been so much fun, and minor league baseball is great. It gets down to the grassroots of this game.
Well, they just came out with a study. It's about $65 for a family of 4 to come out and enjoy minor league baseball, and you just can't beat that for a family to come out. Even if you're not interested in the game, there's a lot of other things to do.
Brian?
What are some of the other things that the Midwest League has in store in the future?
Well, we're trying to do the best we can to make sure all of our teams are as successful as some of our most successful teams. For instance, Dayton has sold out every single game of their career. That's almost 1,100 straight games of sellouts. We have other cities that are struggling a little bit, and we're trying as a group to make sure everybody, can make it. Similar to Major League Baseball, where the Kansas City Royals were struggling for a while, and look at what they're doing.
Richard Nussbaum, our guest, the president of the Midwest League, and I know you want to talk about your predecessor.
Yeah. George was here for 28 years and took the league from 12 teams to 16 teams, and has just been a great mentor to me.
Well, and you've done a terrific job. You might stick it around?
No, I'd love to stick.
All right. So Richard Nussbaum will join us again in the bottom of the inning. A quick top of the inning for the East All-Stars. Still 1-0 in favor of the East. To the bottom of the third we go here from Peoria. 1-0 in favor of the East, and another new pitcher for the East. And this is Antone on the mound now. T.J. Antone.
T.J. Antone, fastball, slider, sinker slider type pitcher. He's a guy that needs to keep the ball down to be successful. In this type of situation, he's just going to probably just air it out and throw all fastballs. He's only going to be in there for 1 inning.
Richard Nussbaum, our guest right now, the president of the Midwest League, and I know we just got to talking about your predecessor, right. and I know he's just such a wonderful man, and had a florist shop and all that. I mean, he's just a cool Renaissance type man.
Well, you know, he's part of the DNA of the minor league baseball, the small towns, and today at our league meeting, we dedicated the championship trophy to George Spelius, so it'll now be known as the George Spelius Championship Trophy.
That's great.
I think the trophy's almost as big as he is, but you know, it was really touching to be able to do that. It's the best thing I've done so far, I can tell you that right now.
What is it about this job that you really enjoy?
Well, I grew up as a young player and wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. That's all I ever wanted to be, and I didn't quite make it that far. I got up to college, but to be able to be involved with professional baseball and these young men right now is a dream come true.
And, you know, when you look at the high A league, the advanced A that the Midwest League offers, or just in the Florida State League,
right.
It's kind of different in that they really focus on pitching, and you've got so many great hitters in this league.
Yeah, I think, you know, Brian was asking a little bit about the Midwest League. I think the thing that we have that nobody else has really is the geography. Most of these players, if they make it to the big leagues, are going to be playing in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so I think, and in front of big crowds, we have big crowds. So I think we're really a great training ground, and some of the best prospects do come through here.
Absolutely.
Except for Brian McRae. We missed him. But,
Yeah, the Royals were in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Right.
And I was playing in the Florida State League, and I never came through this league, but the friends of mine that did, they enjoyed the league. Said it was a little cold to start the year off, but that's the case in the big leagues too.
wow, there's
How about
a big league player
play?
right there.
Yeah,
Right.
no kidding. What a
Is
play.
that Derek Jeter out there?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's the guy we highlighted in the open, Gleyber Torres.
A teenager. As we said, the second youngest player in the league, and then another in a long list of Cubs prospects in the middle infield.
Well, they got a lot of them. I mean, it's pretty impressive. The Cubs.
They don't know what to do with all of them.
Yeah, they're going to probably trade a few of them, but that's watch that player because he's going to be leaving pretty soon. He's got
Here,
another one.
Get another chance. That was routine.
Yeah.
So that was easy there. I mean, that's like a walk in the park, a layup for him. And you look at this talent. I mean, watching these minor league players, you know, I've had the privilege of watching guys that try to make it on the PGA Tour,
right.
the minor leagues of the PGA. And you look at those guys and you think, how are they not on the tour? Same thing can be said for a lot of these minor league players. How are these guys not playing in the big leagues already? There's that much talent down here.
Right. Well, a lot of them haven't. We talked about the teenager at shortstop. They just haven't matured physically yet.
Yeah.
And they need to learn to be able to play every day. They're playing more games than they've ever played. And so they're going to get there.
Big swing, no contact here by Nottingham.
Well, Brian was the second best player out of Appleton.
Who was the first?
A-Rod was the first.
A-Rod played.
Oh,
He was there for 13 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know if he
I didn't even
just
know.
came through.
I saw him play in South Bend. That's the only reason why I can say that.
That's a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
if ever there was one. There's a comebacker right up over the head. And a base hit, second hit of the game for Nottingham.
I think the cool thing about the Midwest League is you have a mix of everything. There's some small cities, there's some bigger towns. So it's a lot to offer for the kids that come through this league.
That's right, and there's some ballparks that are from the 30s that are really
you have
neat
the older
ballparks.
ones and you have the new ones.
Down in Clinton, and then of course you've got a ballpark like this. It's got all the modern amenities.
Yeah, it's great with the view of downtown Peoria. Brian was mentioning earlier about Quad Cities and their ballpark right along the river. And
that's another one. It's an older ballpark that they've really fixed up over the years. And they've got a Ferris wheel out in the outfield. It's quite an atmosphere.
They still have the cornfield out there in left field?
They've got, that's where the Ferris wheel is now.
Okay, that's where that is now.
Yeah. If you build the Ferris wheel,
they will come. Yeah,
they will come.
They're coming, believe me.
Yeah, that's great. You know, the thing is, we've been kidding Brian all day about 25 years ago, he played in a minor league all-star game. Really? 25 years ago. I keep saying that.
Yeah, you keep throwing that 25 out there.
Quarter of a century ago. And he keeps complaining about how the minor league parks were back in his day and how they are now. Everywhere we've gone, it's just been terrific.
Well, back around 1990, the major leagues basically told the minor leagues, you got to improve your facilities, and rightly so, because there's a lot of big investments out there on the field, and so there are minimum standards that these parks have to have, and as a result, we saw an explosion of new ballparks.
And you see an explosion of fans coming to these parks. Little hit and run, but right at Torres. He makes all three plays. Yeah. Richard, thanks again.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you,
appreciate it.
All right, good to see you. Richard Nussbaum, the president of the Midwest League, showcasing the talent of the Midwest League tonight on ASN. We welcome you back to Dozer Park for the Midwest League All-Star Game as we showcase the young talent here in the Midwest. The East leading at 1-0 with Brian McRae and Ashley Bullington. I'm Dave Armstrong, and here's a familiar name to baseball fans. Lucas Schiraldi, of course, his dad, Calvin Schiraldi, longtime major leaguer, and he went to the University of Texas. And now for a guy who knows all about this kid, Brian McRae, because you coached him.
Yeah, he was with an organization down in Texas called Action Baseball, and I helped out and did some things with them over the last few years. And Lucas is a power arm, good fastball, good slider, has control issues at times that he's trying to hone in, but he's a kid that I can see rise through this system very quickly.
Well, Schiraldi starts McBroom off with a strike. Schiraldi, a 15th round pick out of the University of Texas just last year. He pitches for the Lumber Kings of Clinton. Of course, his dad was with the Mets, the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Padres, the Rangers. Good big league pitcher from 84 through 91. Good breaking ball there from Schiraldi. A lot of times in these all-star games, you see low-scoring games because these pitchers come in fresh. They get to pitch just one inning. They throw all their best stuff out there, and it's tough on the hitters. And there's a strikeout for Schiraldi. As we go down to Ashley Bullington, who's with the starter for the East.
Jeremy, you've had a great season so far. Not only were you voted on to the East team, but you're chosen to start. What's that mean for you in your career?
Oh, I mean, it's a great honor just to be selected as an all-star. You know, there's a lot of great players in this league, and to be selected to start the game, you know, it's very honoring to me, and hopefully we can keep it rolling in the second half.
And what's the atmosphere been like for you, and what were your nerves coming up to the mound?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's a great atmosphere out here. You know, a lot of people showed out for the all-star game, and you know, it's what you live for. You play the game and play in front of people. You know, it's great having a crowd like this and to go on to perform. It was great.
And, I mean, what's going to happen, or what is your mindset coming into the second season now?
Oh, let's try to, you know, just approach every start the way I have in the first half and try to keep my season rolling and just give my team a chance to win the game.
Well, congratulations. Back up to you guys.
Well, he pitched great in this game. Struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced and gave up a base hit, and that was it. Well, there's an error on the second baseman, Andrew Daniel. That allows Rowdy Tellez to reach base. Now Jace Conrad. Conrad, I mentioned before, went to Louisiana Lafayette. His older brother, Grant, is an umpire in the South Atlantic League. And then he has a younger brother who has replaced him at second base at Louisiana Lafayette.
So baseball family, umpires, players. Mom and dad traveling around a lot.
You bet. And having a blast. And a cool name, Jace. Conrad very quick, too. He has 21 stolen bases. If he gets aboard, he's always a threat to run. Plays for the Hot Rods of Bowling Green. And he gets into this one, into the corner in right field. And it is off the wall. So Tellez will stop at third on a double from Conrad.
A fastball supposed to be in and ended up being middle. That was nearly a home run. I really couldn't tell where on the wall that hit.
Yeah.
Because you can't see where the back.
Well, the high wall kept it in, Brian. If it had been just the normal height on that fence out there, that would have been a home run.
You can't tell if it's a two-tiered wall back there or not.
The yellow line goes all the way to the top tier. So yeah, you're right. I don't know if there's any spacing in between those two.
Or whatever the case.
Yeah, it went off the wall. And there's a right field umpire to make sure.
And we wondered if they're going to get any action tonight.
Well, there's a grounder to Daniel. He'll throw to first. A run will score as Tellez scores on the play, and Conrad moves to third. So it's 2-0 now in favor of the East. An RBI for Burks. And now Brockmeyer, the player. Brockmeyer struck out in his first at bat. I think anytime you can wear a uniform that says either East or West or North or South or whatever it may be, it's a great honor for a player.
You get a chance to represent your organization, and it's a boost of your ego in your career. You make an all-star team.
Sure.
They get to come in for a couple days. They take care of them with events, and they had a party last night and a couple events around town, and they're treated nice. Great crowd here and a great atmosphere.
Some of the players may say, oh man, I would love to have a 3-day break, but then you get here and you're like, oh, this is cool. I wouldn't give this up.
No.
I mean, it's not like they're playing real hard. They're not taking extended batting practice or anything like that. They had a party last night. They took all of yesterday off. They'll play half a game today. The pitchers will pitch 1 inning today. So it's not a full game, not a full deal. And a swing and a miss here by Brockmeyer. But one more run by the East. They cash in on the air, and it's 2-0 in favor of the East on a gorgeous night in Peoria. This place looks sold out to me. Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois for the 51st Midwest League All-Star Game. 2-0 in favor of the East right now. The West serves as the home team because Peoria, the Chiefs, that's the ballpark we're in. They are in the West. And now another new pitcher, Spencer Turnbull. Turnbull pitches for the Tigers with the Whitecaps of West Michigan. He was a second-round pick in 2014. So while he gets ready to go, we have another guest in our booth. Rocky Vanaken, who serves as the president here of the Peoria Chiefs. Rocky, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.
No, this is fun.
I shouldn't say good to have you here. You're here all the time. Good to have us here. Thanks for inviting us. This is terrific.
Well, we're honored to have you here, and it's been a great night. And, couldn't be better.
Dueling pianos. I love that idea.
Where else but minor league baseball can you see pianos on top of the dugout?
Cool. I think that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely. You didn't see many of those in any.
Whose idea was that?
Actually, it was mine. I love dueling pianos. So about 4 years ago, we were talking in our off-season meetings and said, well, how can we do dueling pianos at a game? And we came up with the idea to put them on the dugout.
Do you do it all the time, or is it just for tonight?
We do it at least once a year. Sometimes we'll do it twice a year, just depending on our promotional schedule and that.
Yeah, talk about not only the dueling pianos, but what you and your staff have put together here is just fantastic. The ballpark looks great. It's in perfect condition on a perfect night, by the way. Thanks for ordering the weather just to be perfect here tonight. But this is just such a great atmosphere. It's festive. It is an all-star game.
It is, and that's what we try and make. Minor league baseball is all about the fun and the entertainment. So with the all-stars on the field and great prospects, we try and add that fun to it as well. And it just turned out to work well. It takes a while to put together, and we've had some fun with it.
And talk about the week that led up to this and the festivities and the activities that you have for the players.
It's a lot of planning, and then once we get to our Monday night, last night we had all the guys and the Midwest League staffs down to the Cat Visitor Center and kind of their museum, and that was really interesting. Kind of had a happy hour there. Then we came back to the ballpark and had a party and a barbecue and a band, and just had a lot of fun for the guys. And it's fun to see the guys relax and have fun at the ballpark, because they don't get to do that all the time.
Rocky, your dad did. He had fun at the ballpark.
He
Tell some more about
absolutely
your
did,
dad.
but he had a pretty good partner in crime in Harry Carey and hanging around the ballparks. But he just loved being around people and loved seeing people have fun at the ballpark. And he was known for going around and handing out baseballs to little kids. And I think he went through more baseballs than we did in the game by handing them out to kids. But
great statue of your dad out here, and the kids saying, "Please, can I have one?" It's terrific. I mean, and you've been around this game since you were a little kid.
I have. We got involved. He had bought the team in 1983, and I was involved a little bit then. And he sold the team for health reasons. But in '94, a group of us got together and brought it back. And it was a quality of life issue to him. It's great for the quality of life here at Central Illinois. Great place for families and friends to come out and enjoy a night.
You've been with the Cubs, you've been with the Angels, now with the Cardinals organization. How's that working out for you?
It's working out well. The Cubs or the Cardinals for us is great just because of our location. We're right in between the two, 50-50 fan base. So either team is good for us, and both organizations are fantastic. So, we can't go wrong with either ones. And, the Cardinals right now, they're doing well. Their fans are excited, so that's just helped us and get fans out to the ballpark.
Well, Rocky, your staff has just been so courteous to us at ASN and helpful too, in making sure that everything that we needed we got. And so I just want to say thanks on behalf of us to your staff.
Well, you're quite welcome. We were honored when they called and asked if we wanted to do the game. We were excited about it. So
well, we're excited to be here.
Excited to have you.
All right, we're going to step aside while we have a pitching change. We'll come right back. Rocky, stick around for just a second.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about the new pitcher when we come back in just a moment. Joe Jimenez is the new pitcher for the East with 2 out and nobody on. 2-0 in favor of the East. We're visiting with Rocky Vonnegut, who is the president and owner here of the Peoria Chiefs. You guys had a pretty good first half and try to make a run in the second.
Absolutely. We started out the first half well, and we finished the first half fairly well. So hopefully, the Cardinals can give us a few additions, and we can make a run for the playoffs in the second half.
It's really competitive here in the Midwest League, isn't it?
Very competitive, and you just never know day in and day out. Anybody can come in and beat you.
This town of Peoria has really supported this team well, haven't they?
They have over the years. Like I mentioned before, we've been here since 1983, and they've been very supportive, and it's a great baseball town because of our location to Chicago and St. Louis. It's just great baseball fans.
And the long history of baseball here in Peoria.
Exactly, and it's been around for a long time, and they just love to see a good baseball game.
Well, you see the kids out here with their moms and dads, and it's just such a great family atmosphere that you've created here.
Well, my dad and I used to say, at the end of a game when people are walking out, 75% of them have no idea who won or lost, or do they care. As long as they had a good time here with their family and friends, they were going to come back.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of them are coming back here. After this experience, how could you beat it? And Starlin Morales is the batter with 2 out and nobody on. And we are right now in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 2-0 game in favor of the East. Well, we talk about baseball in this town and even some women's baseball, the Peoria Red Wings.
The Peoria Red Wings, the Women's League had a great run here back in the 40s, and we actually had some Caterpillar Dieselettes out here. They were women's fast pitch back in the 40s and 50s and honored them the other day. And great history here.
Well, again, thanks for your hospitality.
Thanks for being
Appreciate
here.
it, Rocky.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Boy, that's terrific stuff here, and we are just thrilled to be in Peoria tonight for the Midwest League All-Star Game. We'll be back. Well, back to business as usual on the American Sports Network. This coming Sunday on the Sunday Showcase, the Arkansas Travelers are hosting the Springfield Cardinals AA ball from the Texas League at 7 o'clock. Of course, the Travelers, the AA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels, part of the Texas League since way back in 1966. And the Texas League champions in 2001 and again in 2008. Looking forward to going to Little Rock, Arkansas this coming weekend. Back to our Sunday Showcase. We've kind of been bouncing around here, Brian, as Jeremy Rhodes comes out of the bullpen. We've had 2 All-Star games this past weekend, one on Saturday in Port St. Lucie, Florida for the Florida State League, and one here tonight on a Tuesday night in Peoria. And then you were in Altoona for the Sunday Showcase.
Yeah, we've been bouncing around a little bit, seeing a lot more of the country, a lot more of the minor league system.
Well, Rhodes hits Shepard up near the shoulder. Didn't mean to, but just barely caught part of the jersey. So Shepard, he gets aboard.
Rhodes got to be a kid that's pretty pumped up right now. Went to Illinois State, 45 minutes from here, and he's from Illinois, so maybe a little bit of the nerves right there to start off. He's probably pitching in front of a lot of family and friends here tonight.
I'm sure he is. The Burlington Bees in the Angels organization. 4th round pick last year after spending 3 years at Illinois State, as you mentioned. From Wheaton, Illinois. Alford gives it a ride down the right field line, but it's slicing foul and out of play. Of course, those of you who remember when Rhodes pitched in Wheaton, Illinois, you're watching on Comcast Sportsnet, Chicago Plus here on the American Sports Network in Chicago. And watching those of you who remember him at Illinois State, watching right here on WMBD TV in Peoria. Alford, he has scored one of the 2 runs for the East, but Alford, he goes down swinging here, 1 out in the 5th.
I think there's a common theme in this All-Star game is we have some strikeout pitchers. A nice breaking ball there by Rhodes, and during the season he has 66 strikeouts in 68 innings. Power pitchers, you're seeing some good velocity and some power breaking balls.
Now Gleyber Torres, as you mentioned, there's a log jam of middle infielders in the Cubs organization, and he's one of them.
Seems like they have 1 or 2 at every level.
You can never have too many, though.
No, because somebody's going to struggle, or you may trade someone.
Yeah, you always have guys. I mean, you come to that trading deadline the end of July, and I love it when they tack on a minor leaguer or 2, and you know, names that may not be familiar to the average baseball fan. But trust me, those scouts, they know all about them.
And the Cubs are in a position where I think they really have a chance to cover some holes, either in the staff or position player wise, by boxing up some of these young minor league stars with a big leaguer or 2.
And if you have a surplus in the middle of the field, that's the best place to have a surplus, if not their pitching, certainly, but in the middle of the field, because that's what everybody desires. You want to be strong up the middle, catching, shortstop, second base, center field. Throw down to second for 1. No chance on the relay. Play was slow and developing, and Torres safe on the fielder's choice.
The Cubs are basically going to ask for whatever they need from another organization. They're going to say, we got all these middle infielders.
Yep.
There's a half swing there by Torres, and Rhodes does a good job of setting his feet and making the throw to second base. That really is not a double play ball, but you want to make sure you do get the 1 out at second base, get the lead runner.
Mercado tried, but really had no chance. Gerber looks at strike one. He's 0 for 2 in the game.
The Cubs are going to have the advantage because they have pieces that they can deal, and they're still not going to fall off much.
Tough play, and Mercado can't come up with the ball. I don't know how they'll rule it, but I'd rule it an infield single.
That was do or die. He had to come in, and he lays back on that ball. He has no chance.
And they do give Michael Gerber, who leads the Midwest League with a .335 average, they do give him an infield hit. So now 2 aboard. Torres moves down to second base, and Ryan McBroom comes to the plate. McBroom, an RBI single in the first inning. He struck out in the fourth. Former Mountaineer of West Virginia, Ryan McBroom. Big swing, no contact, 2 quick strikes. You don't get weather like this in Peoria in June. You just don't. This is amazing. There's like no humidity. Temps in the 70s. McBroom, we told you, won the home run derby, and you think, well, that's a weird backstop. Yeah, they were hitting from center field, folks, and back into the stands.
Sagan, you're front.
And a guy that's hit only 3 home runs so far for the Lansing Lugnuts, he hit more home runs than anybody else in the home run derby.
But that's not a surprise in that ballpark because the ball doesn't carry very good.
The 2-2 pitch fouled back, so he hits another one up into the crowd. We just saw Gerber with a base hit, and now here's McBroom.
Nottingham, who's in the ball game.
Chopper to third, and that's a foul ball. Peoria, Illinois, just along the Illinois River. 4th time that Peoria has hosted the All-Star game. First time was way back in 1954, and a guy named Roger Maris played in that one. Of course, he went on to hit 61 home runs, which stood as the record for a long time. Till Sosa and McGuire and then Bonds came along. And another one ripped foul. Peoria also hosted the All-Star game in 1992 and then again in 2005 in this park. Outside, ball 4, and now they're loaded.
First baseman, Rowdy Tellez.
Rowdy Tellez now the batter. Rowdy's given name is Ryan, but just as he was born, he was kicking around so much in his mom's stomach. She said, he's not Ryan, he's Rowdy. He's a rowdy kid. So he has had the nickname Rowdy ever since birth. Swing and a miss at a changeup. Rowdy, by the way, is the number 21 prospect in the Toronto organization. He had committed to play baseball at Southern Cal and then signed with Toronto when he was drafted in the 30th round in 2013.
And who says they're not good nicknames out there anymore?
Yeah, Rowdy. You wonder how rowdy he was as a kid, you know? When you give a kid the name Rowdy, you almost invite him to be rowdy.
He has to be.
Has to be. You know, you didn't nickname him Serenity. Little bouncer down to third. And Tanielu will step on the bag for the force there, and that'll do it. We're halfway through. And the East continues to lead 2-0. Tonight's Minor League Baseball All-Star Showcase is brought to you in part by CoCareers.com. With Brian McCray and Ashley Bullington, I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you on hand here at Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois for the Midwest All-Star Game in the Midwest League. And now we have another new pitcher for the East. This is Grant Holmes. Holmes, who pitches for the Loons of Great Lakes.
And again, another power pitcher. A first-round pick in last year's draft. Not only was he a first-round pick, he was the highest South Carolina player drafted.
And the Dodgers, you know how good they've been with pitching through the years, and they saw something in this kid, and they said, let's get him. Holmes is their guy. Oscar Mercado leads off against him. Mercado, he is 0 for 1 so far in the game. Fouled straight back, right over our heads. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. So Oscar Mercado, of course, plays here in Peoria. Second-round pick in 2013 in the top 25 in the Cardinals organization. And he goes after that fastball. Boy, you talk about a power pitcher. You're right.
And when I meant that Holmes was the highest drafted South Carolina player, he was the highest ever South Carolina high school player drafted in modern history. There's a lot of good ball players coming out of South Carolina.
From Conway, South Carolina.
Isn't that where Coastal is?
Yes. The Chanticleers.
You know a little bit about that.
I do. Son played soccer there. Colin Bray. He's 0 for 1, struck out in the second. Hits are even at 3 apiece, but the East on top 2-0. The East, they've taken advantage of a couple of miscues. A walk and a stolen base in the first set up run number 1, and then an error on the second baseman set up run number 2. Holmes 3-0 so far this year with a 3.68 earned run average. Little chopper, actually a line drive speared by Torres. How many good plays can this guy make?
It's not easy coming off the bat of a left-hander. It's going to be slicing away from Torres. He was able just to snag it before it hit the ground. Good reaction there. We're seeing some things in this ball game from some younger players that usually don't excel in advanced A-ball.
So Sean Larkin goes back to his bullpen. Holmes all smiles, saying, really, I'm all done already? That was quick. He faces 2 batters, and he gives way to the bullpen. Thomas Dormany will come out of the bullpen next. Let's check out the standings in the Midwest League. When you look at the overall standings, Lansing in the East, they lead, as you mentioned, with a 42-28 record, a 4-game lead over Great Lakes. Then Dayton, Lake County, Bowling Green, West Michigan, Fort Wayne, and then South Bend. And look at the Western Division, Quad Cities on top. And Peoria, the host team here right now, at 33-35 on the year. Cedar Rapids giving chase to Quad Cities. So Dormany comes out of the bullpen, a lefty, pitches for Fort Wayne. So he is in the San Diego organization. Dormany making his 14th appearance. Actually, this one doesn't count, but it's the 14th time we've seen him this year. And a record of 5-5 overall. Dormany, who plays for the Tin Caps. He was a 10th round pick in last year's draft.
He had a journey through college. He had verbally committed to University of South Florida in Tampa, but then a coaching change led him to go to Hillsborough Community College, which is still there in Tampa. He stayed in the same city but went to another school, then transferred and ended up his career at Faulkner University in Alabama, which is an NAIA school.
Caleb Adams, the batter. Adams 0 for 2 in the game. And a good off-speed pitch. So 2 quick strikes on Caleb Adams. 2 outs here in the 5th inning in a 2-0 ball game. And another good curveball. Got just a piece of it, though, to stay alive. How's your scorecard look now?
That's why I'm using my...
He's got his little...
Yeah, my little notebook and not my scorecard because it'll be all messed up.
Yeah, he's high-tech. I'm still the old-fashioned way with a pencil over here. And
You erasing things?
No, I'm just crossing everything out. All-Star games, the manager's main role is to make sure everybody has fun.
And make sure everybody gets in.
And make sure everybody gets in. A little bit like coaching Little League. You know, keep all the parents happy. Make sure everybody plays. Well, Caleb Adams goes down on strikes. Boy, what a great night here in Peoria, and these fans enjoying the picnic-like atmosphere here at Dozer Park. Minor league baseball, you can't beat it, folks. How can you sleep through this? We're having so much fun at the ballpark here tonight in Peoria. Dueling pianos. Little Sweet Caroline, we got it all going. Mr. Brunswick joins us from the minor leagues. How are you, sir?
I'm doing outstanding.
Man, what a great night. This is what you get all the time in the minor leagues, isn't it?
This is a great night in Peoria, minor league baseball at its best.
Yeah. You know, when we look at minor league baseball and we look at how much fun it is and how cost effective it is for families that are always on a budget.
We do a survey every year. This year, a family of 4 can go to a minor league game for $65.
Man.
And enjoy it. Every seat in a minor league game is a box seat in a big league ballpark, and just a heck of a lot of fun for the family.
Well, it certainly is that. I mean, Cy Snead comes out of the bullpen now for the West, and you look at the revolving door on the mound, and that's what you see in an all-star game, but it's fun. These guys get to come out and pitch basically 1 inning. We're visiting with Tim Brunswick, who is vice president with minor league baseball. And Tim, this atmosphere here in Peoria, I mean, you just couldn't ask for something better in Advanced A.
No, this is the atmosphere all across the country in minor league baseball, and we're fortunate. I was talking to some of the players last night at the event, and they all look forward to coming to All-Star game. This may be their only All-Star game, and they're really enjoying themselves.
Tim, in the past 10 years or so, minor league baseball has changed with the stadiums, the amenities at the stadium, the fan experience. What has been the biggest change that you think that's happened?
Well, you know, years ago, Brian, we had facility standards came into place, so ballparks had to meet certain criteria, but it's all about the fans. When we build a stadium, we want to get the fans. You see the berm down the right field and the outfield. We want to get the fans as close to the action as possible, and that's the beautiful thing about minor league baseball.
Well, we're starting to see a lot of pinch hitters come up, and we've talked about pitching changes, but now we're in that portion of the game where the position players are starting to revolve around. We just saw Claudio Bautista lead off this inning with the base hit, and now here is Nick Torres. We're visiting with Tim Brunswick from minor league baseball, and And Tim, we talked about the cost effectiveness, the fun. I mean, the dueling pianos, you don't see that anywhere else. I mean, what a great idea. And they've added a lot of atmosphere to the ballpark here tonight.
Well, the thing about the minor league fans, when they come to a game, you ask probably 80% of them.
That's foul ball.
They don't realize who won the game after it's over when they're leaving. They just want to have a good time.
Oh, no, they said it was fair. I thought it went back and hit the catcher, but nope. Check swing, fair ball, and out at first base.
Yeah, there's also always something going on at a minor league park that's unique, that's special, things that you don't see anywhere else.
No,
I thought the ball hit Torres, hit his bat, and then his body.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it either hit his body or hit the catcher and then went out, but they said it just went off his bat. Little check swing right back to the mound. Now moving down to second base, Bautista, and this is Nick Cuefo. And a ground ball to second. This is more routine. Bautista moves over to third on the play, but he's there with 2 out. You look at the minor leagues overall. I mean, we have been in AAA, we've been in AA now with our showcase, and I'll tell you what, we're having the time of our lives this summer doing this on ASN.
Well, believe me, we appreciate you guys coming out and doing our games. And one exciting thing we have going on at AA and AAA is the pace of game. We work with Major League Baseball and on the pace of game initiative from the commissioner. Put these pitch timers in are all AA and AAA, and we just started in May 1st calling violations, and we're only averaging 1 violation every 4 games.
Wow.
And at AA and AAA, we're down 12 minutes per game.
I'll tell you what it's doing, though, for Brian and myself and Keith Moreland, who also works with us on this package. It's killing our waistline because we are getting some of the best junk food in America everywhere we go.
Well, I'm no help there because I could stand to lose about 20 pounds myself.
It's hard to do it, though. I mean, with all this good stuff that they have at the ballparks. You were telling me in Altoona the other night they came out with some Angus burger.
Yeah, black Angus burger, and you can't turn it down.
No, you can't.
No.
It's rude if you turn it down.
That's rude. That's right. Well, so, you know, when you look at the atmosphere, and you talked about how every seat's like a box seat in big leagues. I mean, these stadiums generally seat somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000. And so even if you're sitting out in the so-called bleachers, there's no such thing.
No.
I mean, you know, you're right there next to the field, and you can just see it on the smiles of the faces and even playground areas for young fans who could care less about baseball right now, and something for moms and dads to go out and just play on the playground, have a good time.
Enjoy a night like this.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful night out tonight.
It's like this in Peoria, they tell us every night in the summer.
No humidity.
Well, Tim, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks again
for having me.
allowing us
Thanks
to
for
be
having
along
me.
for the ride on the showcase all summer long. We're just having a blast.
And hopefully I'll see you down the road at another game.
Absolutely. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
That's Tim Brunswick with Minor League Baseball, one of the vice presidents, and just glad to have him, honored to have him with us here tonight. All right, let's get back to some baseball here. Marcus Solbach is the new pitcher now for the West.
Now, what a journey for Solbach. He started off last year in independent ball. Then was signed, and now he's in an all-star game.
And he'll be facing Richard Urena. Excuse me. Richard Urena is the batter. I have no idea anymore, like on my scorecard, who's playing for who. It's like who's on first, what's on second. But the one thing I will say, and this is what I did at the Florida State League All-Star game, I want to keep that scorecard because I think what's cool about this.
5 years from now, you're going to look at it.
I'm going to look at it and go, well, how many of those guys made it to the big leagues? You know, and I think Keith Moreland was saying the other night that he thinks from this level up, maybe 10 to 15% of these guys will make it. And I think, man, that's tough odds. But it's probably pretty accurate. I mean, it's very tough to make it all the way to the big leagues like you did.
It's just tough to get drafted.
Yeah.
And to get in the pro ball.
Right.
And then you add that on all the thousands of kids each year that come into the game. And
Mercado had him played perfectly. Low throw, but no problem for Harum. Again, thanks to Tim Brunswick. Thanks to minor league baseball. Again, we're having such a fun time here in Peoria tonight with the East leading 2-0. Well, great crowd on hand here in Peoria tonight with the East leading the West 2-0. Let's go back downstairs to Ashley Bullington, who's standing by with one of the pitchers for the West, Austin Gomber.
Austin, it's your first full season, and the All-Star game is in your town that you play in. What is it felt like for you and your teammates to be able to have this experience and have the fans that you see on a nightly basis here?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. You know, we got good ovations when we got introduced before the game, and you know, seeing these people that come out every day to support us, and then meeting the other guys from the other teams that you're familiar with because they're usually their best players. So it's just been a good experience so far, and hopefully we can come back and pull this one out.
And can you talk about your performance this season?
Yeah, no, I've had a pretty good season, you know. So, you know, we're trying to win the second half, you know, get to the playoffs. It's really big in our organization, and we didn't have such a good first half. So as a team, we're gonna come out on Thursday and try to win the second half.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dave. Back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot. 2 strikeouts tonight for Gomber. He pitched well. As you saw briefly from the graphic, Cody Regis. And there's a souvenir for a Tigers fan. Cody Regis pinch hitting here. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brent Honeywell is the new pitcher. How's your notebook keeping up with all these changes?
it's getting me now. I was okay for about the first 4 innings, and now.
Oh. Mix in 3 guests in the booth, and right now, who's on first?
And multiple
and
changes.
What's on second? There's Honeywell. Honeywell, 2.91 earned run average.
And again, what you're seeing is the strikeouts to walks, more strikeouts than walks, not a lot of walks. These guys are strike throwers, and they're hard throwers.
Honeywell with the Bowling Green Hot Rods. And they're, of course, associated with the Rays of Tampa Bay. Honeywell drafted in the competitive balance round B in the 2014 draft. He pitched for St. Leo University. And his coach there was a guy named Mike Marshall. Remember him? He won the Cy Young as a relief pitcher with the Dodgers in 1974.
And he teaches an unorthodox style of pitching. And they have all kind of throwing drills that they do that some organizations like, others don't, with the long toss and things of that nature.
Wasn't Marshall the guy that was really heavily involved with kinetics?
Yes.
Yeah. It was the first time I'd ever remember
break it
hearing
down.
that word was kinetics.
And that was in the 70s.
Yeah, in the 70s,
early 80s.
Yeah. Richie is the batter, and he goes down swinging. So 2 quick outs for Honeywell. And his former coach Marshall would be real happy to see what he's doing here.
He just rears back and firing fastball right by him. Here it is. Try to hit it. See you later.
Well, his dad, Brent, pitched in the Pirates minor league system for a while, and that's all we could tell you about Honeywell because he's going to exit stage left. So another pitching change for the East, and we'll take a timeout to get our scorecard straight. We'll be back to tell you about the new hurler in a moment. Beautiful night here in Peoria, Illinois, along the Illinois River, and right now it's the East leading the West 2-0. Pitching change with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Tyler Malley comes out of the bullpen. Malley with the Dayton Dragons.
And again, another guy that almost has a strikeout to innings pitched and doesn't walk anybody.
Yeah, it's like same
Next.
song, different verse. Signed with the Reds out of high school in 2013. He was going to go to UC Santa Barbara. Said, nope, going to play pro ball.
Some impressive arms that both teams have run out there tonight.
And now batting Jake Yasinich.
I've been watching Jake play for 4 years now. I managed against him when he was part of the Petersburg Generals in the Coastal Plain League in Petersburg, Virginia. Out of the University of Iowa. Hit around 300 in that league, and he did that as a freshman.
He goes after a ball in the dirt. It gets away from Chufo, the catcher. And so Yasinich will be on first base. That's one of those rules in baseball that I don't like.
You don't like the
I don't.
strike out and you can still advance?
I think if you get fooled that badly, you don't deserve to be on first base.
There's some merit to that.
I just think there's something wrong about that. The poor pitcher, he just got you to swing at a ball in the dirt.
That didn't even reach the plate.
And he doesn't get anything for it. Well, Tanielu stays in the game. Managers are doing a good job of clearing their benches and their bullpens, getting everybody in this game, at least try to get everybody in.
But they do have to hold a couple pitchers back just in case.
Just in case.
You don't want to be that just in case guy.
Yeah. Well, you look at Tanielu, and he is a 14th round pick, as we mentioned before. Good hitter. And really does well on the road. Tanielu, ball and a strike, now ball and 2 strikes. Another one in the dirt, and this time the catcher close enough to the ball to retire Tanielu at first base. And that'll do it. West All-Stars gone in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Still 2-0. Well, looking ahead here on the American Sports Network. Looking forward already to going to Little Rock, Arkansas to watch the Travelers of Arkansas host the Springfield Cardinals. Here we are in Peoria, the home of the Advanced A Club of St. Louis. With the dueling pianos and all that, what does Arkansas have in store for us? Yeah, the piano man enjoying a cold beverage on a cool night here in Peoria.
I like that. I like the dueling pianos.
I do too. That's pretty cool. Rocky Vonnegut, the president here, the Peoria Chiefs, said, you know, I used to always like to go to those dueling piano bars. Why not do it at the ballpark? So they extended out the dugout, put some pianos out there, and here we go. Now here's Brett
Gave
Graves.
them a little bit of a, I think they have something in front of them, a shield there if there's some foul balls that come up that way.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. Well, Grant Kay is the batter as he replaces Alford. And hits a line drive that is spared by Munoz. Good play. No matter who they play at shortstop, whether it's Mercado or Munoz, they're making the plays. Timed it perfectly.
Graves is University of Missouri product. St. Charles, Missouri.
Number 2, Michael Ahmed.
Now Michael Ahmed He'll bat here for Torres. Ahmed with the Loons of Great Lakes. The Loons. From Massachusetts, he was drafted in the 20th round in 2013. He has started for Holy Cross 55 different games. A little chopper foul. And you look at his baseball card, and his brother Nick, of course, has a card for real as he plays for the Diamondbacks. His brother was drafted in 2011. He was originally drafted by the Braves, Nick was, and now playing for Arizona. So you never know. Just keep plugging away, doing your thing. I was thinking about it on a long walk this morning here in Peoria, but if I was ever to say anything to any of these players, I think what I would say is just take care of yourself, take care of your business, take care of your body, get your rest, do what you can do to control what you can do, and don't worry about what you can't control.
No, because the big thing here in baseball is somebody's looking at you. You don't know who it's going to be, but just make sure you give yourself that opportunity.
We're going to have another change as Brett Graves comes in and retires both batters that he faces. And Ethan Elias will be the next guy out of the bullpen. And we'll be back to tell you more about him in a moment. Well, next guy out of the bullpen for the West is Ethan Elias, who pitches for the Cougars of Kane County. 2-0 in favor of the East here in Peoria. And we are in the 7th inning. Ethan Elias is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
I've been there.
Do you know who else is from Saskatoon?
Gordie Howe.
That's right. That's probably because you've been there. There are probably statues all over town of him. One of the greatest hockey players of all time for the Detroit Red Wings. And now here is Ethan Elias.
And Ethan is another guy that has played independent ball and is now back in affiliate ball. He was drafted by the Cubs in 2011. Got as high as the Northwest League in Boise. Then last year he pitched in the Frontier League.
And now in the Diamondbacks organization. Now Michael Gerber will bat. I love to see all the different machinations of what people will wear out here. They have a Peoria Chiefs t-shirt with a Cubs cap, even though the Chiefs are now affiliated with the Cardinals. Minor leagues sometimes make strange bedfellows.
Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours from
either one.
Either one.
Yeah. Midway.
And this part of Illinois, I think, is where you start seeing more Cardinals fans as you go a little bit further south.
Mm-hmm. One and one the count to Gerber. There's some Cardinal fans here, some Cubs fans right next door.
And a Royals shirt right there mixed in. I think if the Royals continue to play well, you'll see
more and
more people in the Midwest wearing more Royals gear.
You know, in Kansas City, just think of how much they've sold in new Royals gear and new Sporting KC gear in just the last couple of years.
To people that not even interested in either team, just because it's a cool thing to do.
Well, there's a strikeout, and Gerber goes down. So it's time for the 7th inning stretch in Peoria. You're watching Sunday Night Showcase on ASN. Well, fans having all kinds of fun here. Nick Broom, former Blackhawk with Chicago, out here to sing not only the national anthem, but also God Bless America here in a rousing rendition in the 7th inning stretch. And now they're going to take everyone out to the ballpark. Well, 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. What a terrific night here in Peoria for the 51st Midwest League All-Star Game. And we've seen great pitchers come into this game and do such a great job. And, you know, Ashley Bullington has been doing a good job of documenting all that as she's standing by right now.
I've never hit from center field, so it's the first time I've ever done that. You know, it's a little bit different. So pulling the ball was pretty much my best option. And, you know, I got a few pitches I could drive that he threw middle in, and I put some good swings on it, so it was cool.
And this is your first full season in pro ball. Can you kind of talk about what it's been like and how special does it get to play in the All-Star game?
Right. You know, it was a great honor to be, you know, selected in this All-Star game. But for my first full season, I'm really enjoying it. You know, our team's really laid back. We won the first half, so congrats to my teams, you know, my teammates and those guys. But it's been really laid back and chilling, which I think is helping me day by day, you know, to become a better player so I can kind of relax and, you know, play my game.
And going into the second. Thank you so much. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashley. Ryan McBroom, of course, won that home run derby, hitting .330 on the year with 3 homers and 42 runs better. And he's right, Lansing, they did. The Lugnuts won the first half, and they're doing great. Now here's Shane Dawson coming out of the bullpen.
Another Canadian.
Trent Gilbert is the guy to face him. And he hits one high to left field. But Gerber is right there. 1 out in the 7th.
Dawson from Drayton Valley, Alberta. About 2 hours southwest of Edmonton.
Do you know who else is from there?
I don't know who else is from there.
I don't either.
I've been to Edmonton, but I haven't been to Drayton Valley.
I have no idea who else is from there. Here's Esterlin Morales. Whoa. Whoa. That didn't even register on the radar gun.
Looked like an ephus.
Yeah. What was that? Morales saying, don't do that again. And then the fastball comes in there about 87. Chopper off the plate. Bautista makes quick work of it, and they're 2 down in the 7th. And we're going to have a pitching change.
So we'll have our 11th.
So these pitchers, they're smiling about the whole thing. They're like, wait a minute. I only threw like 4 pitches.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah. I threw more warm-up pitches than I did actual pitches. So quick work there, and J.D. Underwood will come in and take his spot. And we'll be back to tell you more about him in a moment. We welcome you back to Peoria with the East leading the West 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 out, and J.D. Underwood has come out of the bullpen.
Underwood is closer with great numbers, strikeouts the innings pitch, 38-38, and again, it sounds like a broken record. He doesn't walk very many batters.
Well, he's from West Palm Beach, and WTCN is our station on the American Sports Network there. And, of course, now we're going to be debuting brand new, beautiful ASN studios this coming football season, and we're looking forward to that. Munoz now will bat against Underwood, and he goes after the first pitch and hits it foul.
Underwood in 2003 was the Florida JUCO pitcher and athlete of the year. He also played first base.
Jairo Munoz looks at a ball outside.
With the Palm Beach State College.
Have you seen pictures of the new ASN studio?
Looks very nice.
Oh, my. Terrific. Can't wait for it to debut with football this fall. Munoz takes the long walk back to the plate. Munoz replaced Mercado at shortstop. We're in the 7th, 2-0 in favor of the East. East scored a run in the first and another in the 4th. Only 7 total hits in the game. 4 by the East, 3 by the West. And 2 of those hits by Jacob Nottingham. Speaking of Jacob Nottingham, he is standing by, I understand, right now with Ashley Bullington. Is that right?
Yes. Hi, guys. Jacob, can you kind of talk about your performance this season so far?
Just trying to put good at-bats together and just trying to be the best hitter as possible, just swing at good pitches, and then catching-wise, just have a good pitching staff, and it's easy to work with them, and it makes my job easy.
And getting voted to the All-Star team, what does this mean for you in your career?
It's big. It's just one of my goals coming into the season, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm having a great time.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much. Dave, Brian, back to you.
And Nottingham has a bright future ahead of him. He, again, is ranked high in the Astros organization, and 2 hits tonight for the West. 2 of the 3s hit .332 in the first half of the year. Munoz goes after a pitch in the dirt, and that's strike 3. They'll throw down to first, and that'll do it. So Munoz is retired. Underwood comes in, gets the one guy he faces, and we go to the 8th. 2-0. Put me in, Coach. Well, Coach has put a lot of guys in tonight in this All-Star game. The East leading the West 2-0 here in Peoria. What a great showcase here on ASN. And now Jared Wilson from the Colonels of Cedar Rapids. He comes in, a 19th round pick in 2013. Pitched at University of California, Santa Barbara.
It's a good nickname there, too, the Gaucho.
Yeah, the Gauchos. So now he's with the Colonels. And everywhere you drive around the Midwest, with as much rain as we've had in the Midwest, doesn't the corn look absolutely magnificent? It's going to be the best crop of corn ever. If they can get their...
I just wanted to stop raining so they can get in and harvest it.
That's right, at some point. You know the old song about knee high by the 4th of July? Corn is a lot higher than that.
It's head high right now.
Well, here is Ryan McBroom, who's 1 for 2 officially with a single and a walk and an RBI. And here he goes down swinging as Jared Wilson blows a fastball by him.
First baseman, Rowdy Jimenez.
Wilson just ran back and throwing it as hard as he can. That is the 23rd strikeout of the night.
Is that what your notepad tells you?
That's what my notepad tells me.
23 strikeouts. Now Rowdy Tellez. Rowdy looks at strike 1. He is 0 for 3 in the game, although he did score a run when he was safe on an error to the second baseman, and then later scored on a bounce out to second. Lifts this one into left center field. Bray goes over to make the play, and there are 2 outs here in the 8th.
Yeah, the West has struck out 10, and the East pitchers have struck out 13.
And I think we're going to have another pitching change. So Jared Wilson gets the 2 guys that he needed to get. Coach, can I keep the ball? That's not even like a between start type of workout for these guys.
I don't know what you call that.
Hard to work up a sweat. Only faced 2 guys. Got them both. We'll be back. Well, a great family time here in Peoria. And 2-0 in favor of the East right now. Homer is excited as we reach the top of the 8th inning with 2 out. And here is Trevor Hildenberger, another Colonel pitcher.
The Colonels must have one of the better staffs in the league, because we've seen quite a few of their pitchers on the mound tonight. He's 22nd rounder in last year's draft out of Cal Berkeley.
Another good nickname, the Golden Bears. Well, he faces Claudio Bautista, who's 1 for 1 in the game. Kind of comes at you sidearm a little bit, doesn't he, Hildenberger?
He's also a closer. 46 strikeouts, 5 walks in 35 and a third innings.
Is it just my imagination, or is it true? Every sidearmer I've ever seen has a lot of movement on the ball.
It's natural movement from throwing at that angle. They have a natural sink to the ball.
In fact, I would dare say it's almost impossible for them to throw it straight.
They can't.
Yeah. You'd have to really do something to throw a straight ball. Well, he gets Bautista on 3 pitches. Good work by Hildenberger. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, still 2-0 East. So we welcome you back to Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois. 2-0 in favor of the East. And speaking of the East, here's another pitcher for them, Brian Hunter from the Dayton Dragons.
It's just funny looking at these numbers.
Yeah.
27 innings pitched, 35 strikeouts, 10 walks, 1.95 ERA.
That's why they're all-stars. We're not just bringing out the schleps here. We're bringing out the all-stars. We're showcasing the best.
Some of these guys need to be in Double-A here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they're saying, too. Down low, Colin Bray, the batter. Bray's been in from the get-go. When you look at Hunter, 9th round pick in 2014. Started as a catcher and now a converted pitcher. A bounce out to short. Well, Ashley Bullington is still hard at work, and she's standing by right now with Jace Conrad.
Jace, this is your first full season in pro ball. Can you talk about what it's been like so far and how special it is to be nominated to the All-Star game?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been with most of the same guys from last year and whatnot, so it's always good to catch up with those guys, and making the All-Star team is just a little bit of extra fun, and very fortunate to be able to play tonight, and looking forward to getting through the rest of the season.
And not only you got to play, but your teammate from UL, Caleb Adams. Did y'all have any conversations going into this, and what was said if you did?
Yeah, I told them that they weren't going to win, and they're not winning right now. So no, he gave me some stuff for not hitting a home run in a home run derby. So I'm sure I'll hear a little bit of it after, but I have something to pick at him about, because I think he struck out twice, if I remember correctly.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. Dave, Brian, back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jace. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fun. That's part of the deal. I mean, you just have fun at these things. There's no pressure really on them. Delgado the batter, and he waves at a fastball, and out number 2 here in the 8th. So Brian Hunter making quick work of the 2 batters he's faced here in the 8th inning.
That's a live fastball. That ball taken off. There's no way a hitter can catch up with 90 plus up there.
Well, Hunter is going to get a look at a 3rd batter.
The hitters may be scared going back to start the second half of the season.
Yeah. Cody Regis batting now. Second at bat for Regis in the game. He's with the Cougars of Kane County and hits a chopper out to Urena at short, and that will do it. So 8 innings in the books. We head to the 9th, still 2-0 in favor of the East. If you like seeing strikeouts, you'll love this game. 2-0 as we head to the 9th inning, and we have seen 25 strikeouts. Let's see how many Cam Boozer can come up with. Cam Boozer also pitches, by the way, for the Colonels of Cedar Rapids. They just brought a bus of pitchers.
They brought their whole squad.
Yeah.
Have a couple starters, few relievers.
He is from Tacoma, Washington. He was a free agent signee in 2013. Fastball upstairs. Ball 1. Nick Torres the batter. Kind of a tailing fastball there at 93.
We've seen over the top sidearm guys, righties, lefties. One thing is in common. Pitchers are pounding the strike zone and getting a lot of swings and misses.
Like that. 2 strikes on Torres. Torres, by the way, plays for the Tin Caps of Fort Wayne. Drafted in the 4th round in 2014. He was unable to play in the outfield as a junior in high school because he just had an injury, so he just pitched. He then went to Cal Poly. And Torres looks at ball 4. That's the 4th walk issued by the West tonight. So Boozer will now take on Nick Chufo. Torres at first base. Big swing, no contact by Chufo. Trying to get you as much information as we can on these players so that when you roll back the DVR about 3 years from now and you go, wait a minute, I remember seeing that game on ASN, and Nick Chufo was playing for the Bowling Green Hot Rods. He was a 1st-round pick in 2013, and now he's in the big leagues. 2 strikes on Chufo. He was going to go to the University of South Carolina, and then all of a sudden just took off in high school, and he was the 2nd catcher taken in that 2013 draft. Little chopper, tough play. Pitcher will cover and beat Chufo to the bag, but he was wide of the bag. He didn't step on it, and Chufo was safe at first.
It's always a tough play for the first baseman to get it to the pitcher in time, trying to get to the bag. I thought from this angle looked like he got the corner of the bag.
I don't know that he did.
Looked like he might have got the back corner.
He beat him there, but according to the first base umpire, Brock Ballou, he did not step on the bag.
Don't know what they'll score that, but more times than not, that's a error on the pitcher.
And here is a base hit to left by Urena. They're going to hold the runner, Torres. So this will load him up with nobody out.
Number 5, Grant K.
There is action in the West bullpen, but they're going to let Dozer stay in there to face Grant K. Needs a strikeout now. Or the old Lawrence Welk play, a 1, a 2, a 3.
I can see 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, why
the way
not?
this game going.
Well, there's the 1. Going to take it to the bag at first. A run will score on the play. The other runners move up to second and third. So K will get an RBI on that. And it's 3-0. K kissed that one off the plate. Every kiss belongs to K, you know.
It's a jewelry commercial, isn't it?
I think so. Well, we've talked about how many strikeouts in this game so far. By our count, we have seen 25, B-Mac.
Hitters are going to have nightmares. Swing and a miss, swing and a miss. And almost all of them have been swinging strikes. There's only been 3 called strikes.
Look at that. 14 for the East, 11 more for the West, and now we've got Cody Geyer coming out of the bullpen. So Geyer, who pitches for Kane County,
he only holds opponents to 138 batting average.
Well, they're going to shake, baby, shake. 14th round pick, Cody Geyer. I'm always amazed at good piano players. Now he's looking at the keys here, but a lot of times you see these guys, they're looking out of the field, they're looking out in the crowd. Look at this guy, he's not even looking at the keys. How do they know?
Practice.
Yeah.
Remember as a kid when your mom told you to take piano lessons and you didn't take it seriously, you might have done it for a little bit, and later on in life you wish you would have done it?
Yeah. I'd love to be able to play the piano. I was one of those that took piano lessons.
Me too.
I was stuck in John Thompson's book #1 for 4 years. I never got out of there. Once you had to actually start reading music, I was done.
You're done.
Yeah. When they actually numbered, like C is 1, D is 2, I could do all right. But once they said you got to know the notes,
Changed the ball game on you.
Yep. All right, here is Michael Ahmed facing Cody Geyer. And he bounces one to short. Strong throw, but it gets away from the first baseman Regis, and this will allow 2 runs to score. And the East has blown it open here with 3 runs in the 9th. It'll probably be an infield single and 1 RBI. That's my guess. And the second run comes home on the throwing error.
Does a good job of getting the short hop, but can't make a strong throw. As Ahmed was getting down the line pretty good, I think he might have beat that out.
And now Gerber lifts one into left field. That'll drop in front of Delgado. Well, the East all of a sudden unloading here in the 9th inning. 4 hits in the inning for the East, and they have 7 hits all night. And now Ryan McBroom. This one hit down the line and right, but slicing foul and up on the, well, in the corner. I thought it was going to reach the berm, but it didn't. It just rolls around in the corner out there. Boy, if you're ever in the Peoria area, this is, and you're a baseball fan, you got to come to a game here. This is just cool. It's a really neat setting. And I'm sure that when you come, it'll be 72 degrees with no humidity.
He did give Ahmed a base hit and then an error on Munoz on the throw. So 1 RBI. Dozer gets the 3 runs earned charged to him.
Yeah, he missed the bag at first. That was an error of omission. They didn't call it an error, just a base hit. And then the error on the throw. But that run would have scored anyway on the next batter got a base hit. So it would have been first and third. Instead, he scores whatever. It's 5-0 in favor of the East. McBroom singled home the first run back in the first. Little tapper that'll go foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on McBroom.
I'm going to keep my eye on some of these pitchers now that I've seen this ball game and look back and see in a couple of months how some of these guys are doing and who gets promoted. And I'd have to think that a few of these pitchers will get a shot at playing in Double-A as the season goes on.
Well, what we have seen for the most part, they throw strikes. They're around that strike zone a lot. They have good movement on the ball. We've seen some pitchers just dominate, like Jeremy Knoll did in that first inning. He struck out 3 batters. I've seen some guys that are almost unhittable. And there's strike 3 called at the knees. Now that's 2 out, and we're going to have another pitching change. So we're going down to the bullpen one more time, and this will be the last pitcher for the West. So Robbie Rowland comes in, and we'll take a look back at what has transpired in this game. There was a big stolen base there by Alford with 2 out, and then McBroom got him home with a base hit. It was 1-0 for the longest of times. And then in the 4th inning, this double off the wall by Jace Conrad, that set up that inning. And East, they tack on another one on a bouncing ball by Burks. That scores a run to make it 2-0. And then here in the 9th inning, a walk, a base hit, another base hit, a bouncer back to the pitcher, another base hit, a throwing error, 3 runs in, 2 runners aboard, and another pitching change as Rowland closes out the bullpen for the West. So Rowland, who pitches right here in Peoria for the Chiefs, a free agent signing this year.
Played against his father, Rich Rowland. I think he was a catcher with the Tigers and the Red Sox from 90 to 95.
Oh, yeah. Well, Robbie has bounced around. He's been with the Pirates organization. He's been with Arizona. And now with the Peoria Chiefs in the St. Louis chain. Now Robbie Rowland, the batter. Or excuse me, Robbie Rowland, the pitcher, versus Rowdy Tellez, the batter. Tellez has scored a run in this game. Fastball at 91, up high and outside, ball 1. Sprays it foul.
Nice catch.
Boy, that was off the facing of one of the suites, and then a catch down below.
Came prepared, has the glove.
No longer can his wife give him grief about bringing his glove to the ballpark.
She'll do it anyway.
Why do you bring that glove? Because I might catch a foul ball.
She probably tells him to walk in front of her.
The 1-2 pitch is waved at and missed. That's another strikeout. So now there's 27 of those, if you're keeping count, B-Mac. 27 strikeouts in the game as we go to the bottom of the ninth. 5-0 in favor of the East. There's a young man up there with a dream that maybe one day he'll be playing on this field or maybe even a big league field someday. Who knows? Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and Jamie Ritchie is facing James Ferris, who comes out of the bullpen. Ferris with the Cubs of South Bend. 9th round pick in 2014.
Ferris out of the University of Arizona decided to return to school after his junior year when he selected in the 15th round and ended up being drafted higher. Usually doesn't happen that way.
He took a bit of a gamble by turning down the 15th round. He wound up getting drafted in the 9th round.
And why I say that's a gamble, a lot of times your senior year, you don't have any leverage.
28 strikeouts.
So teams usually draft you lower your senior year because they know that you have nowhere else to go. It's a good curveball by Ferris. 9 of 11 in saves this year, tied for 4th in the Midwest League.
Yasinich, the batter. Yasinich struck out his last time up, but then reached first base when the ball got away from the catcher.
On one of those quirky rules, things that you don't like.
I don't like it. I've never liked it. I just think if a pitcher gets a guy to miss,
it should be out.
It should be out. You're out. You swung and you missed. On strike 3, you're out. You don't get to go to first base because it got by the catcher. You're out.
When you're head of the rules committee, you'll make that change.
Yeah. That's one that I've been harping about that for years, and no one listens. No one cares.
There's 2 or 3 of them that don't make any sense.
Yeah. That's one to me. Now, you are a hitter, so you probably think otherwise. There's strikeout number 29. That one looking.
No, I find it odd that that happens that way.
And Chris Pike is the last man standing out in the bullpen for the East. He wasn't even warming up. He was just standing over there on the side. Bullpen was silent over there, but Pike had already done his work, and he said, yep, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. So we'll tell you more about Chris Pike when we come back in a moment. Well, closing moments here from Peoria. 5-0 in favor of the East, and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Chris Pike has come out of the bullpen. The last pitcher available to the East. And again, good numbers all around. Whip of 1-2-2.
And I think the reason why Pike is the last pitcher is because he's a starter. And if the game were to go to extra innings or anything like that, maybe he could extend it and go 2 or 3 innings if need be, but doesn't look like the case now, and he can come in and finish it off.
Yeah, it's on cruise control now, and there have been 29 strikeouts. 29 strikeouts in this game.
And 53 outs to this point. 29 of them have been strikeouts.
Wow. Chris Pike, of course, pitches for the Hot Rods of Bowling Green. 9th round pick. Coming out of Fordham University.
Third baseman Nick Tanielu.
You know who else went to Fordham University?
Did Pete Harnish?
I might have, but I was thinking Vin Scully.
Vin Scully? They had school back then?
I'm going to tell him you said that. Swing and a miss.
It just seems like he's been around since before baseball.
Yeah, he is the voice of baseball in my mind. No one will ever, ever be better. Still going strong at 86 years of age.
That's amazing.
And he's always done every game all by his lonesome, no partner. It's the way Red Barber taught him.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. I'd like to see him try to do this game by himself with all pitching changes. And oh, my.
I'd like to just sit in the booth and watch him do a game.
Yeah.
You know, there's some players that people say, I'll pay to watch him play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd pay to hear him.
Yes.
I would. To do anything. I mean, I'd pay to hear him recite a grocery list. He's just got that great poetic voice, great rhythm. I remember going to Dodger Stadium when I was with the Rockies, and just after the game, you just sit in the press box and
just listen to him talk.
Just tee him up on stories. Tell me more about Pee Wee Reese. And oh my goodness. I remember it was true with guys like Harry Carey, Jack Buck, Vin Scully, the real legends of the game, Ernie Harwell. When they would go down to the field, it was like baseball royalty coming down to the field.
Players would go
to them. Managers would go to them. When a guy like me would come down to the field, everybody would run and hide. I think the crowd is ready for fireworks. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Tanielu. And a bouncer up the middle. Urena's got it, and that'll do it. The East wins it 5-0, our final score. A game that featured 29 total strikeouts. It was close until the top of the 9th inning. That's when the East blew it wide open with a 3-run 9th, and they win going away 5-0.
Well, we saw some of the best arms in A-ball from both these squads. Power arms, strike throwers, guys that have a chance to move through the system very quickly. Some nice young players, good infield play, a lot of exciting things here in Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, really good stuff. I mean, the East pitching staff was dominant in this game, allowing just 3 hits in the contest, and all 3 of them singles. So no real scoring opportunities for the West, and the East wins it 5-0. We'll come back to Peoria to wrap things up in just a moment. Well, on a night when we saw 28 pitchers and 30 position players and 29 strikeouts overall, we saw the East beat the West 5-0. The East got a run, Brian, in the first inning, and it appears that's all they needed.
Yeah, with the pitching that they were able to throw out there tonight, it didn't look like the West had a chance at all. They had 3 hits, 3 measly singles, not a whole else lot, and that's about as dominating as a performance as you're going to see by a pitching staff. the West pitching was not bad either.
No, it wasn't. Just came apart in the ninth. 3 runs scored by the East in that ninth inning to pull away and win 5-0. Ashley Bullington is standing by with one of the stars of the game.
Guys, I'm here with Michael Gerber. Michael, talk about just the domination of the East. What does it say about the Eastern League?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of great hitters on the East side. Obviously, you know, they got just as many hitters there. You know, it's a little different. In this kind of game, you see a new pitcher every single inning, so we were just able to get some guys on base and score them.
And what was this experience like for you personally?
It's a lot of fun. You know, you play against these guys for 2 or 3 months, and you really get to know them when you're on the same team as them. So, you know, getting to play with them, talking to them in the locker room and stuff like that, it's a lot of fun.
And you're having a great season so far. You're leading the Midwest League in batting. Can you kind of talk about your performance for the season and what it means to you and your organization to be voted onto an all-star team like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor to be voted onto an all-star team. There's a lot of great players in this league. As for, you know, my season so far, you know, I've just tried to stick with my same approach and, you know, not try to do too much at the plate. And right now I'm seeing success. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Back up to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael Gerber, former Blue Jay with Creighton University and now becoming a really good pro player with the Whitecaps of Western Michigan. And he and his teammates are celebrating a 5-0 victory here in Peoria. Great stuff from the East All-Stars, and we get you right back down to Ashley Bullington. Ashley?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with JD Underwood. JD, can you kind of talk about just the East of the Midwest League and how dominant it was tonight?
I mean, playing against these teams the entire first half, you know, it's obviously tough, you know, and the playoff race came right down to the end. And I mean, it just shows tonight we have really great players, you know, and but I mean, nothing against those guys over there, you know, they. Yeah, pretty good too, but you know, we showed our dominance tonight.
And 29 total strikes tonight. Can you talk about the pitching in the league and how is it during the season?
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not hitters league, that's for sure. And you know, Parks will help us out too. And but again, those Ks, especially we had I think 16 the East half alone tonight, but. You know, it's getting those 2-strike counts and you finish them off. It's a lot better.
Well, congrats and great performance tonight from the East. Dave, Brian, back up to y'all.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashley. Brian, this was a really fun game to do. We saw a lot of different players in this game. Both managers cleared their benches, and in the end, it was the East who won it 5-0.
Yeah, the East with the pitching dominance was able to kind of set the tone early and then cruise on and add some runs later to seal the deal. It's a lot of fun being here in Peoria. Never played in this league, heard great things about it. This is a beautiful ballpark, a beautiful setting. It's not a bad place to spend a summer playing ball.
Now, B-Mac, I guess we should have known when Jeremy Null struck out the side in the first inning for the East that we would see 29 strikeouts in this game. It was just one of those nights.
That has to be some kind of record in a Midwest League All-Star game.
Yeah, it was a terrific night for the East as they win this by the score of 5-0, but a terrific night too for the fans, a terrific night for the Peoria Chiefs and their organization. Great hosts here tonight in Peoria, and we have just had a marvelous time at Dozer Park in Peoria, Illinois. So for Ashley Bullington and Brian McRae and our entire crew, I'm Dave Armstrong. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to AmericanSportsNet.com. This has been a presentation of ASN, the American Sports Network. Our team's your passion. Join us Sunday night for the Sunday Night Showcase from Little Rock, Arkansas, when the Arkansas Travelers will host the Springfield Cardinals.